y'all hit that like button, share, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and make sure you click that notification bell. This is I had to do this over because I had it on pause the whole time. Let me make sure we rolling. Okay, yep. All right. So here we go, Mr. Mac Truck. All right, Mr. Mac Truck, Wesley, Mr. Mac Truck. Look at him getting it in. Y'all check him out. But he put a post up on IG. He was talking about Easter, right? And he was like, why is it that as far as I can remember, Easter is always changing dates and months? And he right. And he was saying that don't bother anybody. And the conversation being had is that y'all, this ain't got nothing to do with Christ. And again, he is correct. I don't celebrate holidays, but I noticed the hypocrisy and BS going on in what y'all got going on over there. How can this be about Christ resurrecting from the grave? It's supposed to be about he rise, but you can't never make it make sense. Y'all be like, he rose on the first day, so it was Friday, and then he rose on Sunday, and we doing Easter. That's what you really believe? Okay, so where did the rabbits and the bunnies and the candy and the Easter egg hunting come in at? I'm going to tell y'all how that part makes sense to me. More sense than it being about Jesus and him rising. Nothing against Christianity or the story of Jesus, the story of him being crucified and rising. All I'm saying is it don't got nothing to do with no Easter. If Christ's birthday is supposed to be what Christmas is about, then why are y'all still doing at the same time a Santa Claus? Okay, a Santa Claus and a chimney and some presents and some reindeer and ho ho ho, and you're singing praises, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. But you turn around in your Bible and you be like, thou shalt have no other gods before me, thou shalt not worship da da da, thou shalt not. God provides. God is it's God, Jesus, through Jesus to God, or something like that, because he is the one. That's the only way. Don't worry about people. Don't worry about man. But we're going to worry about Santa Claus and Rudolph and the reindeer and the snowman and all that other kind of stuff at the same time. I mean, at one point, do we keep it real? Okay, Easter to me is probably one of the most natural holidays that there can be. So, let's go here. All right, let me make sure we rolling. Okay, we rolling. So, with the moon, I'm an orange moon. All right. Okay. So every month, like clockwork, my cycle, any woman's cycle who is in alignment, okay, if it's working like it should, I'm gonna say that. The new moon is where your cycle starts over, which is the worst time, the worst time of the month. And you got the full moon where you're most fertile because you are in ovulation. Okay. So that would be the most fertile time of the month. All right. The full moon came on the 25th of March. So that next Sunday happened to be the very last day of March. And it's on the 31st. Okay. They the ones who said that we gonna celebrate it after that full moon, and they the ones who decided how many days are gonna be in the calendar. But it's not no more days than it is the rotation cycle of the fertility. At the end of the day, no matter what they say, they can say daylight savings time, they can say whatever they want to say, but they can't change nature at all. And at best, it rotates. For whatever reason, I ain't gonna, say nothing about how the moon travels and whatever time it takes them to rotate the way they rotate. But, some days they might stop and get something from the corner store or something. I don't know. But if you look at February, let's go to the beginning of the year. All right, so we had the new moon on the 11th. We had the 25th of January, right? Now, if you clock your cycle, which most women do, you got an app, you got you got some kind of note app thing, or you even got a fertility app or whatever that you use to keep up with everything, and you know how it went, how it's going. and things like that, especially if you are trying to keep up with your fertility. But when your cycle comes and goes, and if you've been new that you are in alignment with the moon, then you always know, okay, here comes full moon. You height because you're fertile, so that's natural for you to be like that, right? Then during the new moon that oh boy, this is can we just die already? Like, I don't want to do this again, but you gotta do it every month. That's the way nature gets down. And look at February. We got new moon on the 9th. We got the full moon on the 24th. And we come to where we are now. We go to March. And it's on the 10th. The new moon and the full moon was on the 25th. Now, if you count the days in your cycle, you're going to see how many days are in your cycle. And they never add up to 30 or 31. Never. So that's some stuff that your peoples came up with. So you're going to have to get with them on that. If we go to April, look at there. New moon on the 8th and full moon on the 23rd. Now you can count them days just like if you do seed cycling, okay, which helps to balance your hormones and deal with fertility. Then there is sunflower and sesame, and you have flax and pepitas, right? And you have to take them starting at a certain day of your cycle. All right. And one helps with your estrogen level controls, and the other one helps with your progesterone levels and controls. And you start on the second one on the 14th, I think, day of the month or whatever. But if what I'm trying to say is, if you're doing all of that, you're keeping up, you know exactly how many days, and a lot of times the app will tell you. So if you haven't checked it out, go look at your app, and you always going to get somewhere between, like, let's give it a good range, 25 to 20, maybe 26 or 27, maybe even 28 days in your cycle. That means how many days from the new moon to the full moon. And it never goes up into the 30 days unless something is off, unless something is off. But for normal speaking, that's how it is. So man be doing all kind of stuff. Let's go to an article. This article says Easter is associated with Christianity and to a pagan spring festival that dates back along before Christ. Okay. New Year to me is not on no December the 31st. It's not on no doggone January the 1st. It's when the spring comes, okay? It's when the flowers come and bees be like, okay, what we gonna work on over here? All right, it's time to get busy. We trying to fertilize things, get the flowers coming out and everything blooming and waking up, warming up. That's New Year's to me. Now, forget all that winter stuff they talking about. And some ball dropping and some song they singing and all that kind of stuff. So they say the feast day of Easter was the first pagan holiday of renewal and rebirth. Okay, that makes more sense to me. It makes more sense than, I'm not saying your Christ story isn't right. I don't got nothing to do with that. I don't got no monkey in that race. None of that. Okay, so all I'm saying is that shit don't got nothing to do with Easter. All right, honored in the early spring, it praised the pagan goddess of fertility and spring, known as Ostara. Okay, and now they want to say it's going to be about Christ rising again. But they'll tell you you're wrong for believing something like this. I just explained it to you why I'm going to go with something like this over Christ rising all day. Okay, because my body is within alignment of what nature does. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so it says Estra or Ostra. I'm probably not pronouncing this correctly, but they say the word Easter finds its etymology, the history of the meaning of words, from the goddess's name. The Germanic folk, known as the Teutons, worship pagan gods and goddesses, and it's believed that the origin of the Easter bunny, hares, and eggs, hares is a rabbit, can be dated back to the 13th century in Germany. Due to its prolific breeding tendencies. Ever owned rabbits? I've had a couple. And the rabbit became a symbol for Elstra. Eggs, on the other hand, were used as fertility symbols since antiquity. Okay, antique, baby. Originating amongst German Lutherans, and the Easter hare originally played the role of a judge, evaluating whether the children were good or disobedient in behavior at the start of the season of Easteride. As a result, the Easter Bunny would just come just as Santa Claus would, bearing baskets filled. Okay, what are we doing now? Children being good and baskets and candy and stuff. Okay. Colored eggs for the children. Boy, they got stories for days. They just be stories. So they bring candy and chocolate and colored eggs and such for the children in AD. Okay, after Christ's death, that's what that's supposed to be. 325, the Emperor Constantine, who favored Christianity, convened a meeting of Christian leaders. The most faithful of his decisions was about the status of Christ, whom the council recognized as fully human and fully divine. Since then, Easter is a much more meaningful and sacred. What's more meaningful than the cycle of life, being able to give birth, being able to create and foster life and then bring it to the world and say, here you go, do your thing, y'all welcome. I mean, okay, but whatever, kiss my ass. Since then, Easter is, I ain't gonna read that again. Easter Sunday is a major, if not one of the most important Christian holidays, and it celebrates good thing I ain't Christian, the resurrection of Jesus Christ 3 days after his death. Don't got nothing to do, Bo. Okay, it is the confirmation that Jesus' death was a Sway. Explain that shit. Make it make sense how it's a confirmation. Okay, it was a sacrifice to the sins of others, but that's why y'all believe that shit's so strong. Okay, yeah, I feel you. You want to believe that. Oh, because Easter, he rose, and that means that we good, y'all. I mean, cool story, bro. Listen, but it don't got nothing to do with Easter. Y'all just bogarted and put that in there because y'all be doing stuff like that. Taking over shit and being like, this is what this is. What? It's not what it was before you touched it. Like, go sit your ass down. Be original. Try that. Yeah? You can't do that? Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Sacrifice, sins others, that kind of stuff. Blah, blah, boo, 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 boo. Something even more powerful, the potential for rebirth. No, it's the potential for you to get me pregnant and we have a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'll actually give birth to a actual person. There's several of them walking around here that I done that with. Okay? And I'm telling you, you only got a certain amount of days that you're going to get pregnant. You fertile. And that shit happens each month. Okay? With the moon, baby. All day. All right? So, whatever your story say, cool. Take that over there. That's all I'm saying. Salvation, renewal of faith. That's why Easter celebrates and preceded by Lent, a time of abstinence and penance. That's why y'all ass ain't getting pregnant. They telling you to be abstinent during the most fertile time. Then I thought your Bible said, "Be fruitful and multiply." Okay, it don't necessarily have to be about having babies. You can be fruitful in knowledge and multiply and spread that and share it and all that kind of stuff. There's all kind of ways to be fruitful and multiply, but most people do be assuming be fruitful and multiply is about, hey, have some more. How you gonna do any of that if you're supposed to be abstinent? What we been abstinent for? Get out of here with that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Blah 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 blah. Where we at? I don't know. It's just some mess. You know what I mean? It's just a mess. It's all mess because don't none of this make no sense. How we gonna jumble all this up together and act like it's supposed to be all the same thing and we could just rock out on that? Oh, y'all been doing that for years. Okay, you'll say this mean this, it don't mean that, but this ain't right and that ain't right, but we gonna do it anyway. You know, just like Thanksgiving. What is that really about? It's come on now. What is that really about? But how it's been rocking. Okay, you know where we started and where we at. Don't y'all be doing that on social media? This is how we started and this is where we at. Come on. One of these things is doing his own thing. Ain't one of the same. So, okay, a time of abstinence and penance. The Easter Vigil, when new believers are baptized, and sometimes the sacrament of confession. After a season of shedding bad habits and resisting temptations, man, spring cleaning, doing your spring fasting, all that. I'm with all that, you know. That makes sense. And like, yeah, that makes sense. But, you know, you want to blah, 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 whatever. Cool story, bro. I'm telling you, cool story. Easter is the perfect opportunity for Christians to recommit their beliefs. Okay, I'm going to do that. But do that over there. Do that over there. Quit trying to jack something. Just make it up your own name for that. Regardless of how you celebrate this holiday. Okay, so this came from Carlos E. Sandoval, PA. Wish you and your family. So they just giving, you know, the information of different whatever that they learned, I guess. I'm not gonna look up nothing else. That was the first article I came to that discussed, you know, the you know, fertility goddess and all that. Y'all can go do further research on that. All I'm saying is stop playing with it, and y'all too old for this shit, you know, to keep just being like, we gonna do whatever because whatever has always been done. You know, shout out to Mac for even raising a question, because it seemed like he got the same story a lot of people got, that this is supposed to be about Christ and him raising from the dead 3 days after his death, a burial, and blah, blah, blah. But then you see eggs and Easter eggs, and then you see changing dates, and you see changing, you know. You're like, some of this stuff don't be making no sense, but whatever. So here's another article. And they're talking about, you know, the same thing. Easter was originally the celebration of Ishtar, the Assyrian and Babylonian goddess of fertility and sex. And then they get the person be telling you, be abstinent around this time. Be abstinent around this time. And then your wife be like, I took the test, honey. I'm ovulating. But we supposed to be abstinent because we celebrate Easter. Well, you're celebrating wrong. Okay. Her symbols, like the egg and the bunny, were and still fertility and sex symbols. Or do you actually think that eggs and bunnies got to do with the resurrection? Okay, I'm going to ask you again. You know, like this article says, did you really think that? Or did you just be like, grown-ups are full of it? You know what I mean? They're like really full of it. Child, like, what y'all talking about? After Constantine decided to Christianize the empire, Easter was changed to represent Jesus. See how they just be doing stuff just to be doing it? But at its roots, Easter, which is how you pronounce Ishtar, is about celebrating fertility and sex. Okay, was your ass real, like, horny? Clearly, we all know that Facebook memes are the ultimate source of information. Okay, that's sarcasm, but they going on to say something else. But, you know, again, you can do your own. Ishtar symbols were the lion, the morning star, and 8 or 16 pointed stars. Again, symbols of power. The word Easter does not appear to be derived from Ishtar, but from the German Estrode, however you say that. The goddess of the dawn, or bringer of light. English and German are in the minority of languages that use a form of the word Easter to mark the holiday. Elsewhere, the observance is framed in Latin. Blah, 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 blah. I got things to do. But I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Like, you can go and do your own baby, and you can believe in and do what you want to do. I really don't care. I'm just telling y'all that I understand. I understand that me being a woman, it's some shit you can't tell me and think it ain't going. I'm not gonna be like, oh, don't let us just that shit don't make no sense. According to and just because we got a certain connection. You know what I'm saying? Holla.